Excited. I love that. Abels, really.
All right, all set.
Thank you so much, Mr. Charles. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come. This is the moment we have been waiting for. This is on Passive Go Founders. Our slogan is "We are in it to win it." My name is Senge, your humble servant here to make sure that everything is put together before this webinar starts. So first off, guys, if you're a guest here, I want to welcome you. If you're a returning founder, it's always a pleasure to see you back, for you being so supportive, right? And that said, we have a few housekeeping rules. First off, guys, you're going to be force muted so that you get the information that you came here for. We do not want commotion and interruption from your background, right? So you're going to be force muted. That said, we are going to be taking questions at the end of the presentation. And when that time comes, guys, we need your microphone to be open, but most especially, we need your video to be open so we can be looking at you while you're looking at us. That's said, ladies and gentlemen. This question and answer session is going to be for guests only and those that came into the company just a few days ago and they have not attended the webinar or they find it difficult to assimilate the information. That said, this webinar is going to be presented to you by none other than a very, very dynamic gentleman who has been in the business industry for over 3 decades. He has been a computer engineer for more than 35 years. As a matter of fact, he is now a retired computer engineer who finds himself very responsible to make sure that he takes this information to everyone in the continent, right, of Africa. Guys, the one and only Mr. Charles Osong is in the house. Please welcome him.
Thank you, Senge. We appreciate you. We love you. We cannot thank you enough. Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're calling from. We want to welcome you, especially our guests. Feel free, you are at home. And I know you're here today to hear about a once-in-a-lifetime kind of opportunity. I am tasked with the job of presenting that opportunity to you. It is my pleasure. The way I normally do that is I tell you my story. Like Mark Twain once said, as long as you're telling the truth, you don't have to remember anything. And that is why I tell you my story, which is simply the truth. Okay, like the announcer said, my name is Charles Osong, and I've been in the United States for a very long time, in my 36th year right now. And throughout that time, I've been working like everybody else. Life is very tough. We work sometimes 2 jobs, sometimes 2.5 jobs just to make ends meet. For the most part, I've worked in the IT industry during that time. And for those of you who are familiar with that industry, it is very, very broad. But I've been blessed, fortunate enough to touch almost every discipline in that field. About 34 years ago, I ran into the works of a very wealthy gentleman by the name of Mr. Warren Buffett. Mr. Buffett said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you're going to work until you die. That statement has resonated with me all the time. So I've been looking for ways to make money in my sleep. In the process of doing that, I also ran into the works of Mr. Robert Kiyosaki. Mr. Kiyosaki is also independently wealthy. He's one who impressed upon me that yes, we do have rich people in this world, but we also have a category called wealthy people. The difference is simple. The rich have to work for their money. They trade in hours for dollars. Yes, they make a lot of money, but they must go to work to get paid. The wealthy, on the other hand, make money passively. They make money in their sleep. We call it passive residual income. I got attracted to that kind of way of making money. So about 4 years ago, I decided to tender in my resignation for corporate America. My corporate American job, I had to kiss it goodbye. I recall a colleague of mine saying to me, Charles, you're very fortunate. You must have saved up a lot of money to be retiring this early. And I said to him, on the contrary, I have worked for so long and I simply cannot save that kind of money, the kind of money that I would love to save. And that is why I'm doing things differently. I recall Robert Einstein saying, you keep doing the same thing over and over, but expecting different results. That is his definition of insanity. I bought into that notion, so I decided not to be insane. I stopped working, got myself an office in Maryland in the United States. And about a year and 10 months ago, a very trusted friend of mine walked into my office and said to me, Charles, I have this opportunity that I want to share with you. And folks, it's the same opportunity that I'm going to be sharing with you today. But just so you know, prior to retiring, I had been studying rigorously the behavioral patterns of successful people. And one of them is that when they get an opportunity, when something lands on their desk, they look at it inside out, okay, so that they can make an informed decision. So I started behaving like one of those kind of people, right? And my friend came to me and I said to him, my friend, I will look at this opportunity, that's for sure. But first, I have 3 questions you must answer to me. I have to be satisfied with these responses, and then we can move forward. Question number 1. This opportunity that you are bringing to me today, will I be able to make money if I cannot recruit? If I cannot sell to even one person, am I going to still make money? And when I say money, I mean real money. I'm not talking about some chop change. I've been blessed enough throughout my life to see chop change. I'm talking about enough money to give me financial independence, financial freedom. And what is financial freedom? If I were to ask that question to each and every one of you, you will give me different answers, I'm sure. But to me, it simply means I'm making enough money to do what I want, when I want, where I want, and how I want. So I asked my friend, with this opportunity, if I cannot recruit even one person, because I am an African and I don't know how to recruit. So if I don't recruit, am I going to be able to make that kind of money? He said to me, Charles, you will make it. You will make plenty of money. Relax, don't worry. I said, okay. Let's go to question number 2. Do I have to come out of pocket every month to pay some bill? In the industry, they call it ownership. Do I have to pay a monthly ownership? He said, Charles, when this company launches, and by the way, when he came to me, the company was in pre-launch. So he said, Charles, when this company launches, you're going to have to come out of pocket one time, and that's it. I kind of like that. And I said, let's go to the last, but certainly not the least of the questions. And before I tell you what that question is, I would love to share with you how I came about that question. Towards the end of 2016, I knew for a fact that I was going to stop working for corporate America. So I coined those 2 questions that I just mentioned to you in order to help me navigate the jungle. They worked very well, at least for some time. I landed on some very, very great opportunities. I was making so much money. My head was beginning to spin. I was so happy. I said, this is the way life is supposed to be. But not for long. Not for long. About a year and a half, 2 years maximum later, all these companies went belly up. All these companies took a nose dive. So I was stranded. But I was forced to do something else that successful people do so well. They fail forward. Failing forward means if you fall down once, you get up once. If you fall down 10 times, you get up 10 times. You dust yourself. You look at why you fell, what went wrong, and then you move forward with experience so that you do not repeat the same mistakes. I had to do that. And upon examining all these different companies that I was involved with, I realized that they all had one thing in common. None of them had a legitimate, viable product. By legitimate, I mean legal. By viable, I mean necessary, something that mankind, you and I, we need on a daily basis. We need every day. Okay, and that is for sustainability. If a company does not have legitimate, viable products, folks, forget about it. This is just a time bomb. It is a matter of time before that company collapses. And I know a bunch of you here are from Nigeria. You may have heard of a company that came around. That company was called MMM. A few people made some money, a few. But lots of people lost tons of money. Some got so frustrated they had to commit suicide. My friends, if you go back and look at MMM, they did not have a legitimate, viable product. MMM is not the only one. There are lots of companies are out there like that. And they pop up every day, even today. They hit me with them. But I've been a victim with some of those. And that brought me to my third question. So I asked my friend that day, this company that you're about to present to me today, do they have a legitimate, viable product? And he said to me, Charles, you have an IT background. You should be able to understand these products better than me. So I went and took a look at the products, came back to him and I said, my friend, should this company succeed in what they're trying to do, we're going to have an internet quake. Now, up to today, I don't even know if that word exists. I was just thinking of earthquake, and I said internet quake, a revolution, a shakeup of the internet. And by the time my friend came to me, this company had been in pre-launch, like I said. They had been in pre-launch for about 6 to 8 months. So I told him we have a problem. We're going to have to buckle up, fasten our seatbelts, and enjoy the roller coaster because it's going to take some time. You're going to be in pre-launch for another 3 years, maybe more. My friend did not like that. He said to me, Charles, you can't be saying this to me. Why would you say that? I said, well, you told me to study the products. You told me to take a look at the product. And I did. And I understand what they're doing. They are using artificial intelligence, AI for short. AI is a disruptive technology, folks. Right? And what is a disruptive technology? One that comes every once in a while, okay, will change our lives, will change the way we do things. In other words, it'll disrupt our lives. So we call it disruptive. AI is yet the most disruptive technology mankind has ever known. But AI is very involved. It involves machine learning. It involves empirical data. It involves millions upon millions of lines of coding. So if you're familiar with software development, it ain't easy. It takes time. It's time consuming. So I told my friend, we'll have to wait. But I also told him, I don't care how long we wait. I want to be part of this company right now. I had something called FOMO, fear of missing out. I had missed out on a few opportunities earlier on in my life, and I wasn't going to miss out on this one, and at no cost. So I asked him, how much is it going to cost me to be part of this company? I had my credit card. In the United States, in the US, we don't need cash. All we need is credit cards, and I had a few of those at the time. So when I asked him that question, I was expecting him to give me some huge amount of money. It's something like $10,000 or even more. And I was ready to pay for it. And my friend said to me, Charles, all you need is $97. $97. So I laughed. I said, you got to be kidding, right? He said, nope, I'm dead serious. I said, okay. Well, here's my card. Put it on there. Now, by the time we were done with the registration, I had paid $102. So yes, there is a $5 fee for credit card, debit card handling. Big deal. I told him, consider that dinner for two. But I also told him, I need you to do me a favor. I do not have 3 years or more to be monitoring this business or this company. I've got to put food on the table. So call me, text me, email me, do whatever it is, whatever it takes to inform me when this company is closer to launch so that I can get more involved. My friend said, deal. 8 months later, he gave me a call and he said, Charles, can you make yourself available in 1 week's time? The CEO of this company is going to be talking to all of us. And I said, sure. 1 week later, I hop on the call and there was Mr. Ashmore Farah. Mr. Ashmore Farah is the CEO and founder of this company I'm talking to you about. Mr. Ashmore Farah, for those of us who have been founders for some time, we have come to know and love him dearly. Not only because he's going to help us make money, he will help us make lots of money. That's for sure. But also, and more specifically, because of his heart for humanity, his heart for mankind. There are quite a few geniuses out there with the brain. They have the brains. You have Bill Gates, you have Mark Zuckerberg, you have Jeff Bezos, and a plethora of them. They have the brains. But do they have the heart? As you come to join us with OnPassive, you will find out that Mr. Mofara has the brains as well as a heart. And most of us leaders will resonate with him. OnPassive is built around love. Okay? But mind you, I was listening to Mr. Mofara for the very first time ever. And I hopped on the call and he said, folks, we have been making a lot of progress. In fact, we are closer to launch. So in my head, I am thinking, I'm wondering, how can this guy possibly say that? It's just 8 months ago, I told my friend, we need some time because I understand these things. So at the very minimum, he got my attention. I was listening keenly. And he went on and he said, we have leased a building in Bangalore in India. Folks, for those of you who are familiar with that part of the world, Bangalore is like the Silicon Valley of India. Okay? Today, though, we have our own building in Hyderabad, high-tech city, Hyderabad in high-tech city. Okay? If you look behind me, you'll see a building that says OnPassive. This is our own building, 5 floors. In any case, at that time, we did not have this building. And Mr. Mofara went on, we're leasing 2 floors in a high-rise building, 2 floors, okay? And we have hired 200 strong engineers. And these engineers are working around the clock to make sure that our dream is realized. So now in my head, I'm beginning to think, okay, most startup companies are going to have 20 to 25 engineers. Most startup companies are going to have these engineers work 8, maybe 9, maybe 10 hours a day. I know because I've been part of a few of those. Now, Mr. Mofara goes to the source. And when I say source, for those of you who are familiar with IT, you will agree with me that Indians are the best in the game. He goes to the source, and by the way, labor is cheaper in India, way cheaper than in the United States. He goes to the source, and he did not get 20 or 25 engineers. No, he got 200 of them. And they're not working 8 or 9 or 10 hours a day. No, they are working around the clock. They are working 24/7. They are taking turns to make sure this dream, this goal is achieved. Folks, now in my head, I am thinking, okay, with this kind of a resource, yes, You're able to cut time frames. With this kind of a resource, yes, you're able to do in 2 years what is supposed to take 5 years or even 6 years. So my belief factor goes up. Okay? But Mr. Mofara went on and he said, we do have a small problem. Some of us, insiders, founders like you and I, have been unethical. They've been trying to steal our technology, and we're not going to let that happen. We will be coming up with a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA for short. Folks, when you see those NDAs, sign them up because it's the only way you can participate in this great business. 2 months later, he called up another meeting. NDAs are out. Go sign them up. I went back, looked at the NDA, very long document. Okay, I read through it, and I can assure you guys, I am not an attorney by any stretch of the imagination. But by the time I was done reading that document, it occurred to me that this is the time I had mentioned to my friend to call me. This is the time I wanted to get involved. This is serious. I went back, looked at everything they had done, time, money, energy spent from the time I got involved until then. And I said to myself, okay, this is the time I'm going to get serious. It's no longer a joke. I looked up, they had over 40,000 founding members. And I realized there weren't too many African names on it. I do know African names when I see them. Folks, if you're here and you're not from Africa, it's okay. We love you. And we're going to work with you as just like everybody else. However, I just wanted our African brothers and sisters to be part of this big, big pie, to share in this big cake. Okay? So I became a man on a mission. Called up a few friends, and I said, folks, we need to spread the word. We need to let our people know about this massively. Those who have ears can listen. Those who don't want to, we've done our part. And that's how we're here today. We decided on Zoom. Thanks to technology. With Zoom, all you need is a smart device. It could be a phone, an iPad, a laptop, doesn't matter. You need internet access, data, as you guys call it, back in Africa. Okay? And that's it. So what is this company I'm talking to you about? The name is OnPassive. If you look behind me, you will see that. Okay? And that name was not given by chance. It is a passive opportunity. Excuse me. Our CEO and founder, Mr. Ashmore Farah, I just mentioned to you guys a few moments ago. He graduated with a master's in internet marketing and information technology. He has a knack for AI, artificial intelligence, that disruptive technology I just mentioned to you guys a few moments ago. This guy is a guru when it comes to traffic generation. What is traffic? Folks, traffic is the reason I can dream today. Traffic is the reason I can invite you all to dream with me today. So we're going to spend a couple minutes talking about traffic. What is traffic? Traffic is the most important element in any business. It doesn't matter whether this business is offline or online. You need traffic. Okay? But let's talk about offline business first, because most of us here, we have an age. We are more used to offline businesses, right? So let's talk about traffic offline. Let's say you have a business offline, and I have the same business. And it can be any business. It can be a car dealership. It can be a hair salon. It can be a clothing store. But let's just say it is a restaurant. And I like to use restaurant because I know everybody eats and I love food. Okay? So let's say you have a restaurant and I have a restaurant. Same restaurant, same kind of food, same chef. As a matter of fact, the food tastes identical. What's the only difference? Location. Your restaurant is located in a busy area, busy shopping mall. People come in and out all the time. My restaurant, on the other hand, is hidden. It's located in a back alley. Well, guess what? Your restaurant is going to fare better than mine. And here's why. People will come to that shopping mall to do other things, to do their hair, do their nails, buy some clothes, window shopping, whatever it is that brings them to that shopping mall, they will eventually get hungry. Look up at your restaurant, wander into your restaurant, and the end result of that is what? Sales. My restaurant, on the other hand, they're going to have to leave their homes deliberately to go there. They're going to have to know that it is there. And because of that, it suffers. It suffers from what? Traffic. So what is traffic? People, customers coming in and out of your business. That's it. Now, what about traffic online? But before I go there, I just want to say this. In this day and age, if you have that traffic offline, that business offline, like the restaurant, you better get yourself an online presence. Otherwise, you're just asking to be smoked by your competition. Simple. The reverse is not true. You can have a very successful business online without any offline presence. Typical example, Amazon, the richest company on earth, does not need an offline presence. So what am I saying in essence? I'm saying, yes, we do have millions upon millions of businesses offline. But as many of those businesses that we have offline, we have even more online. And all these businesses online, they thrive on traffic too. They need traffic. Okay, so what is online traffic? Clicks, people, clicks. That's it. So if you have a business online, I mean, you can call it charlesosan.com. Doesn't matter what you're selling. The first thing that needs to happen, people need to go there and click. No clicks, no sales. The more the clicks, the more the sales. So there are people, businesses online that make money simply by driving traffic to all these millions upon millions of businesses online. That's all they do. And they make lots of money. And then there's something called targeted traffic. What is targeted traffic? Say you go online to search for a TV, and then somebody directs you to a store online that sells TV. Well, your chances of buying are very high because you are already looking for a TV. That's called targeted traffic. Somebody just sent that store a targeted traffic. Now, our CEO and founder, Mr. Ashmo Farah, is the best in the game of driving targeted traffic. Nobody even comes close online to him. He proved himself. When he graduated, he joined a few companies, drove targeted traffic, lots of traffic to them, send them customers, send them affiliates. He made some millions doing that. And these companies also made lots of money. Unfortunately, these companies went out of business. Why? Remember I told you guys earlier, no legitimate viable products is just a time bomb. So Mr. Mofara and his family, notably his wife, who is also an IT professional, are going to sit together and say, you know what? We do not need to keep doing this. We do not need to keep sending people, customers to other businesses that are eventually going to evaporate. No, we are going to start our own business. We're going to look for legitimate, viable products or services. I'm going to use those interchangeably. We're going to get founding members, you and I. We're going to drive traffic to them. They make money, we make money, and everybody is happy. Folks, that's the birth of OnPassive. And that is why earlier on today, I told you I can dream today because of traffic. And you all can dream with me because of traffic. That is the differentiator between OnPassive and any other business that you're going to see out there. So Mr. Mofara and his close friends are going to sit down together about 3 years ago. And mind you guys, 3 years ago, the time is significant. Why? Because there was no pandemic. There was no COVID-19. So 3 years ago, they're going to sit down and say, hey, we have about 7.7 billion people on Earth. Of these 7.7 billion people, at any point in time, statistics show that 7 million are online doing something, looking for some kind of service. Now, 7 million 3 years ago, you can imagine what it is today with the advent of COVID. Maybe you should multiply that number by 10 or more. But 7 million people each minute, that is still a lot. What kind of services are these people looking for? What do they need? Well, some of them are doing online banking. I know that. I do that. Sometimes twice a day, sometimes even 3 times a day. And I know a bunch of you do that as well. When we do these things, there are companies, there are people online that monetize on our services. Believe that. So these guys at OnPassive, they're going to say, hey, you know what? We have AI at the back of our hands. We can do that even better. Some people online are on their favorite social media, like Twitter, like Facebook. I love Facebook. But when we are on Facebook, what are we doing? We're sending texts, we're sending photos to friends, family members, colleagues. Guess what that's called? It's called community. Okay? And these guys are going to say, you know what? With AI, we can have our own community. Even better. When you guys join us, you're going to find out our community is about 450,000 strong at this time and growing by the second. Okay? Some people online are doing e-commerce, drop shipping, email marketing, bulk emailing. There are people online, I can assure you, making 6- and 7-figure income just doing email marketing. And these guys at OnPassive, they're going to say, well, with AI, we can add that to our arsenal. We can do that too, even better. Okay? Now, some people online are video conferencing, just like you and I. If you can see me or you can hear me or both, it means you went to some application called Zoom and you put in an ID. Rest assured, the founders, owners of Zoom, as you and I speak, they are making money. They are monetizing. Zoom is not the only one out there. We have Skype, we have Cisco WebEx, we have AnyMeeting, we have Google Hangouts, we have Microsoft Teams, a plethora of them. All of them making serious money, especially now with the advent of COVID-19. Okay, well, Zoom, of all of them, is the most user-friendly, and because of that, it is the most popular. But not for long, guys. You wait until OnPassive unleashes its webinar platform. Those of us who have been founders for some time, who've been fortunate enough to see a demo of it. The pictures are 3D, very clear. Okay, it is scalable, it is more secured, end-to-end encrypted, and guess what? Above all, it is cheaper. But let's focus on Zoom for now. It is, like I said, the most popular. Prior to COVID-19, Zoom was averaging about 10 million participants every day. I know the same company took a statistic, April 1st, 2020, that number had gone up to over 300 million participants a day. Just about 4 months ago, Zoom was on record for overtaking ExxonMobil in terms of money, in terms of profits. Guys, do you know why this is happening? Well, since the advent of COVID-19, all the universities, high schools, middle schools, elementary schools, asking students to take classes virtually. Yes, pastors, I've seen them, men of God, women of God, having virtual Bible services, virtual prayer services. I've seen virtual wakekeeping, virtual graduations, virtual weddings. The world is going virtual. And OnPassive is simply going to help us monetize. Let's talk about another virtual service, Virtual Private Network, VPN. What is a VPN? It's a fancy name. It's a fancy name for a tunnel. That's what it is. It's a tunnel. It cuts across a major network, okay, for protection. Employers use it for privacy so that the employees can access corporate network without fear of bad guys, without fear of loss of data. Now, since the advent of COVID-19, excuse me, more and more companies asking their employees to work from home. So when you hear somebody says, well, I work from home, I'm telecommuting, guess what? They need a VPN service. Somebody is monetizing on these services. Just over 4 months ago, Twitter, the big IT giant, said, even after COVID-19, all our employees are going to have to work from home permanently. Yes. 5 days later, Facebook followed suit. And a bunch of them have been doing the same thing. The world is going virtual. These guys are on passive, and they're going to say, we have our AI at the back of our hand, right? We're going to have our own VPN. Faster, smarter, more scalable, more secured, and above all, guess what? Cheaper. I can assure you, my friends, when OnPassive launches, the big players in this space, in this VPN space, like Cisco Networks, they are going to know there's a new kid on the block. Now let's talk about another service, search engine optimization, SEO for short. What is that? Most of us have heard of Yahoo. It's a search engine. We've heard of Bing. It's a search engine. And for those of us who are Apple enthusiasts, we've heard of Safari. It's a search engine. And what the most popular of all of them is what? Google, right? I'm sure each and every one of us has used Google at some point in time. Well, Google is free. You can go to Google to search for something 10 times a day, 20 times a day, 100 times a day, free of charge. You can go to Google to open an email account, a Gmail account, 1, 10, 100, free of charge. You can even open a Google Voice account, free of charge. They call it Voice over IP phone number, VoIP phone number, free of charge. Sounds like everything is free in Google, right? Yet, Google is a multi-billion-dollar company. So here is the multi-billion-dollar question. How does Google make money? Most of us don't know, and frankly, most of us don't even care because it's none of our business. But today, I want to share with you how they make money. Why? Because these guys at OnPassive are going to help us make money the same way that Google is making money. So if you were to go to Google now and you search for something, and it can be anything, it can be a watch, it can be a phone, but I just want it to be a camera because I have an online store and I do market my cameras through Google. So if you were to go to Google right now and search for camera, a bunch of them are going to pop up. One of them, certainly from my store. Now, if you click on that camera from my store, well, you just costed me money. You don't have to buy it. Google is charging me for it, right? At the end of the month, I have a credit card on their file. You're just going to go there and pull out the money. They tally up all the clicks that went to my store and they bill me for it. So what's the contract? What does Google tell its clients? If you market something with us and the customer comes looking for that item, we are going to optimize our search. We'll bring your item to the top, of course, because you've paid us. We'll bring your item to the top so that they can see it, eyeballs. Once they see it, game is over, case closed. They don't have to buy it. And they call it pay per click. So the more the clicks, the more you pay. Okay, I'm a small business guy, almost insignificant online, I can tell you that. But I can also tell you, I am paying Google averagely $400 every month. I'm also paying Microsoft averagely $600 every month. Why am I paying Microsoft? Bill Gates is a visionary. He saw that this SEO thing is going to be big, did not have time to start up a brand new company. He bought an existing company called Bing. He revamped it, and people like us are paying him every month, month in, month out. I'm also paying Zoom for these services that we are on right now. $200 every month. It's automatic. Comes out of my card. I pay a company called GoDaddy for domain name service. If you have to have a business online, you must have a domain name. So you must have a company that hosts the domain name. You must pay them. Okay? So those are just a few of the services that I'm paying for. And like I said, I'm a small business guy. You can imagine the kind of money that the big players are paying Google. You can imagine the kind of money that the players like eBay, Craigslist, Walmart, all these big companies, United Airlines, all of them, what they're paying Google. That's how come Google is a multi-billion-dollar company, guys. Now, these folks at OnPassive, they're going to say, you know what? We have artificial intelligence, AI, at the back of our hands. We can have a better SEO. We're going to have our own AI-driven from start to finish, super, super smart. By the time you type the first character, it already knows where you are headed. So they're going to help us monetize. It's that simple. Okay. What am I doing, guys? I just gave you a few services, legitimate, viable services, digital services that OnPassive is putting together. Okay, so that you can understand the ones that you can relate to. What is OnPassive doing? OnPassive is saying, okay, we're starting our business. We're going to take all the services that people need online, all of them, whether you are an individual, whether you're a small business or a big business. If you think about it, it's something that you need, we've got it. And not only do we have it, but we have it under one umbrella. In IT, we call it single sign-on. And here's a big word for you guys, integrated. In other words, all of these things are integrated. That's a big word. No company has ever done it on earth. OnPassive is the first, and we are 99% there. Okay? So I know a bunch of you here are founders already. I know quite a few of you are guests. Hopefully you're going to be founders today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. And when you become a founder, you're going to get excited. Yes, you will get excited. The only people that don't get excited are those that pay their little $97 and then take a vacation. When you get involved, you will get excited. And when you get excited, here's what's going to happen. Your friends, families, you're going to talk to them. I just found this great company. And some of them are going to say to you, oh, by the way, that company you're talking about, do they even have a product? Okay? Remember, these products are not tangible. These products are intangible, right? So a lot of people don't understand it. But here's what you tell them. We have a total internet solution, or a total digital solution, or a total IT solution. Same thing. Whichever one you feel comfortable with, total internet solution, total IT solution, total digital solution. That's what we have. OnPassive itself has its own name for it. It is a three-worded phrase, Smart Business Solution, SBS. I will take you to the back of actually to our website, onpassive.com, at the end of this presentation, and I'll give you a 15-second tour of it, and I'll show you. All of them proprietary. Guys, I told you earlier, with this company, you don't need to recruit to make money. Why? Because of traffic. With this company, you don't have to come out of pocket every month to pay some bill. You don't have to pay an auto ship to stay in business. And above all, with this company, you have legitimate, viable digital services. There is no company on earth that I know that has even 1/10 of what OnPassive has. Therefore, we are sitting on a gold mine. Now, what is it going to cost you for you to become a founding member of this company? Because fortunately for you, they are still in pre-launch. When my friend came to me, they were in pre-launch. Today, they are still in pre-launch. When my friend came to me, it costed me $97. Today, it is still $97. However, that price is not going to last very long. Very, very soon, in a matter of weeks, if not days, we are approaching soft launch. What is soft launch? We, the founders, we are going to start testing our products and services before we can release to the public. But then, before soft launch, the price of $97 is going to go up. We shall still accept founders, but they will have to pay $149 to become a founder. So save yourself some money. $52 difference can be huge for some families. So save yourself that money. If you're familiar with Richard Branson, founder, CEO of Virgin Atlantic Airlines, he said, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you don't understand it, jump on it and learn about it later. So this is an amazing opportunity that someone has offered you. Jump on it. It gets better with us because after 30 days, you don't like what you see or hear, you can ask for a refund and your money will be back within a few days. Okay, so now you pay $97, you become a founder. What happens next? Financially, nothing happens next. You wait until launch. Of course, you can get busy. You can invite your friends and family to come to a webinar like this so that they too can enjoy, make some money, enjoy the products. However, financially, monetarily, you're not going to spend a penny until this company launches to the world. And if you're new here today, folks, please sit up, take a sip of water. This is the most important part of this presentation. When OnPassive launches, there will be no more founders accepted. The door is shut permanently. Doesn't matter how much money you have, you won't be allowed to become a founder. That AI traffic that I mentioned to you guys earlier is going to be going around bringing in customers, okay? Targeted customers by the second, okay? Now, when these customers come, what are they going to be looking for? What are they paying for? Just like me paying for Google every month, just like me paying for Zoom every month, or Microsoft every month, they're going to pay for that service that I just mentioned to you, all those services. OnPassive has put them in one bundle. And like I said, there are about 50 of them. I just mentioned a few. VPN, I mentioned to you guys. Search engine optimization, email marketing, online banking. These are all services. We have more. Website builder, IP tracker, trim URL. There are a bunch of them. OnPassive has put them in one bundle. So these customers are going to come in and pay for that one bundle. How much is it going to cost them? Between $100 and $250. Between $100 and $250. For strategic reasons, we don't have that exact amount yet. However, it's not going to be less than $100. It's not going to be more than $250. So if you're like me, in my head, I put $250 so that if at the end I pay $200, I have a little balance to go get myself a little dinner, right? So when OnPassive launches, we the founders, even before the customers start coming in, we are going to select that bundle also. We are going to be OnPassive's first customers. We are going to be a product of the products. So we will select that bundle. Again, no more than $250. Now, just so you know, this is a monthly subscription. We are here because of monthly residual income. You cannot have monthly residual income without monthly subscription. However, because we are founders, we are lucky. OnPassive is going to pay for us subsequently. So we are going to pay for that once upon launch. Subsequently, OnPassive is going to pay for our subscription month in, month out. They're going to pay for our subscription using our profits. And then the balance we can take home. Because upon launch, as soon as we make that commitment, that payment, AI traffic is dumping customers underneath us, and we are getting commission from the same day. 30 days later, let's say, just as an example, 30 days later, you have $500 in your internal OnPassive wallet. Well, 250, assume that's the subscription amount, is going to come out and pay for your subscription. The remainder you can take home, month in, month out. Okay? Now, I told you guys earlier, you do not have to recruit to make money. Yet, there are guests here today. And those of you who are guests, You were invited here by a friend or a family member. So you might be wondering what's in it for that friend, what's in it for that family member. Well, let me use this example so you can know what's in it for somebody who invite guests. So we are all founders. So let's give an example, founder A and founder B. Founder B says this is a passive opportunity. Charles told me, I don't need to talk to anybody, no problem. He pays his $97 and he goes on vacation. Founder A says, well, I want to give my family and friends an opportunity. I want to give them fish rather than give them net. I want to tell them so that they too can enjoy what I'm enjoying. So he tells all his friends and family members, let's say 50 of them. Naturally, most of them will say, forget it, it's one of those things. So let's say 10 of them go with him. 10 of them agree with him and join OnPassive as founders. Well, we always say, monkey see, monkey do. Out of 10 of them, a few of them decide to do what he's doing. Tell others. Before you know it, 10 bring 15, 15 bring 20. Before you know it, founder A has 100 founders in his team. So we're going to work with 100 founders in founder A's team, 0 founders in founder B's team. Upon launch, what happens? AI traffic goes around, becomes rampant, bringing in customers and or resellers by the second, dumping them on founder A, founder B, founder C, founder D, founder E, back and forth. Okay, so let's say at the end of 30 days, founder B gets 100 customers given to him by AI traffic. Founder A also gets 100 customers because, as you're going to find out, with OnPassive, no founder is more equal than the other. We are all the same, right? So founder A also gets 100 customers. But remember, founder A has 100 other founders in his team that deserve 100 customers each as well. 100 times 100 is what? My math tells me 10,000. So founder A gets 10,000 customers plus his own 100 customers given to him by AI traffic. Now you can imagine when somebody monetizes on 10,100 customers, it's a heck of a lot more than somebody who monetizes on 100 customers. So what is OnPassive saying in essence? Yes, we're going to build all our founders teams when we launch. But if you want to have a head start, if you want to start building your own team, even before we launch, be our guest. You will be happy you did, because we are going to reward you, and we're going to reward you abundantly, and which is fair. Now, I told you guys upon launch, we're going to have to pay one subscription one time between 100 and 250. Well, guess what? OnPassive has guaranteed that money lifetime. What does that mean? Upon launch, you're going to select that bundle. You don't have to pay just yet. You have 7 days to make payment. Of course, you're going to see activity. You're going to see AI going to work, dumping customers. You're going to see commission, dropping in your wallet. However, you cannot withdraw. Why? Because you haven't paid just yet. You have 7 days to make that commitment. Well, let's say at the end of 7th day, at the end of day 7, you decide this ain't for me. No problem. You can just opt out. But what if you commit? OnPassive says, give us 90 days. Give us 3 months. If you don't like the kind of money we're paying you, you can ask for a refund and we will refund you. So that money is also guaranteed lifetime. It doesn't get any better than that, folks. I promise you guys, I'm going to take you to onpassive.com website and share with you our proprietary ecosystem of those disruptive products. I'm about to do that just now. Guys, this is public information. All you have to do on your own, go to onpassive.com right there, and you will see it, right? If you scroll down to somewhere in the middle of the page, you're going to see OnPassive, our proprietary products. Digital marketing, I spent some time on that. That is just the traffic, guys. Video conferencing, I spent time on it. VPN, website builder, these are all hands-free AI-driven tools, okay? If you're a business person, small or large, you just have to click something and things are happening, okay? OnPassive Connect Me, that is a suite of about 6 products. The webinar platform I mentioned to you guys, SMS, MMS, for those of you who use WhatsApp, Telegram, we have something even better. Email marketing, I spent time on it. IP tracker, of course, this in itself can be $1 billion business, okay? Domain registration, I told you guys I'm paying GoDaddy. When OnPassive launches, I can kiss GoDaddy goodbye. Staff manager, we have HRM, guys. There are companies out there, PeopleSoft, Oracle Corporation. By the time OnPassive launches, they are going to know there's a new sheriff in town. I promise you that, okay? So I am going to say one more thing, and we're going to go to Q&A. One more thing, guys. Every business has risk, okay? There's risk. OnPassive is no different. OnPassive has its own risk. Robert Kiyosaki, he said, I don't know of any millionaires that has not lost money, but I do know of a lot of poor people that have never lost a dime. Okay, so there is risk everywhere. If you're a business person, any kind of investment, there is risk involved. Like I said, with OnPassive, our risk is $97. And our CEO has made it even less risky by letting us know and giving us the opportunity to get a refund if we don't like it. How good is that? Yet, you might have some people that do not want to part with $97 for whatever reason, okay? We don't need to know the reason, but if you don't want to take that risk of $97, no problem. You can still make money with OnPassive, and let me tell you how. You wait until OnPassive launches. Do not spend your $97. Do not become a founder. When OnPassive launches, you will not be a founder. You can wait even 6 months after launch, 2 years after launch. Wait until it becomes a household name, and then become a reseller. I can guarantee you, you will still make some money. But you're not going to make the kind of money that founders make. All of these companies out there, Google, Amazon, Facebook, you can still make money with them. All you have to do, go out there, buy some shares, wait 2 years, 3 years, sell those shares. You might be lucky enough to double your money, maybe triple your money, or why not quadruple your money. But you're not going to become a millionaire. You're not going to become the next Mark Zuckerberg. You know why? The people that make the millions and the billions are the people that come in its embryonic stage. The people that make the millions and the billions are the people that join when it is still an ideology. It sounds good. They take that leap of faith, and by the time the world knows about it, they are in money. You wait until everybody knows about it. You wait until it becomes a household name. Too little, too late. Folks, I believe I've given you enough information to make an informed decision. But if you're here and you still have some doubts, you're still trying to figure out, hey, he said this, but what does that really mean? You have some questions. We are here to take all your questions. Fortunately, I have with me Marina Favit, who is part of Leadership Council. She's from South Africa. She represents Africa. She's our servant leader. She's there to make sure we get all information that we need from corporate, bring it back to us. So she's going to be helping me take your questions, okay? All I ask, guys, make sure you put your video on so that we can see you the same way that you see us. Thank you very much for coming. I know there's lots of other things you could have been doing, but you decided to be here. We appreciate you. Marina, say a word or two to our guests before we can go to Q&A. Thank you.
Charles, can you hear me and can you see me? Greeting
I
you
can
with
hear you
our
loud and clear.
greeting you with the OnPassive cap, wearing your name proudly. Okay, thank you, Charles. Once again, you do a fantastic job. And Senge, I love getting welcomed by you. You make everyone feel so at home, and that's what it is. This is one big happy family. Just to add on to what Charles has said, about our CEO, Ash Mufara, he didn't go into too much detail, but it's actually very interesting to know that the CEO has got a Masters of Information Technology, and he's also done several courses with Harvard, from Harvard University. Plus, he has over 20 years experience in online business and network marketing. So he really knows the ins and outs of this business. And he saw a gap in the market, and that is why he started with the idea of OnPassive in July 2018. Before that, it didn't even have a name. Another thing is when you join a business, you're wanting to share it, and understand that OnPassive is not for everyone to be a founder. You know, not everyone thinks that they should be a founder. Not everyone will see the vision, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, everyone who uses a smartphone, a laptop, a tablet, an iPad, whatever the case is going to be using one of our products. So why not get on board now as a founder and make profits from those people that come on board? That's all I really wanted to mention. And also just I received an SMS or WhatsApp just now from a guy that runs an orphanage in Uganda. Now I've already got someone that we sponsored in from an orphanage in Uganda, and obviously word gets around, but you know, you can't help everybody, especially during these times. Times are really, really tough for all of us. But my heart goes out to them. And it breaks my heart to say, I cannot help you now. You know, I really can't. Their children are dying. But On Passive is going to be that answer to so many prayers. We will never, ever have to turn a situation like this down and say, sorry, I can't help you. I'll pray for you. You know, that sometimes that's just not good enough. And I know that with On Passive in the very near future, my situation is going to change. And all of you who have decided to become a founder, or those that decide tonight to become a founder, you're going to be in a position to say, I want to help. And you can help without, you know, putting yourself out, or your family, cutting things out from your family and what have you. You definitely are going to be able to help turn poverty into prosperity, one step at a time, one person at a time, and one project at a time. And the money that you're going to be making, that's a done deal. Whatever your financial goal is to earn per month, if it's $500, $1,000, $100,000, you will get there. So your financial goal will be covered, whatever that amount is. It's what are you going to do after you have sorted yourself out. And that is what our CEO wants. He said he cannot do it on his own. He needs people that's got a heart for humanity to join him on this journey to help do this and turn poverty into prosperity. So I urge you to really think about, you know, becoming a founder. I am here to answer your questions, and we welcome you. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this presentation. It is truly a life-changing opportunity, which doesn't come around more than once in a lifetime usually. So thank you, Charles. Thank you, Senge.
Thank you so much, Marina. Mr. Charles, I think you're muted.
No, that's good. I said I was going to say, can you start with the Q&A? Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you so much for that very elaborate presentation, Marina. We thank you so much for always being here to support us and make sure that everything is done in a way that everything syncs up. Ladies and gentlemen, the time has come for us to take your questions. Now, the process goes thus. If you want to ask a question, you can either physically raise your hand, or you can raise your hand on the participant board, and make sure that your video is open when your question is being asked. So guys, you can go ahead and start raising your hands.
Yeah, the raising hand feature is under reactions. There we go. Under reactions, if you click on there, you can raise your hand.
Thank you so much, Marina. Okay, we're going to start with Peter. Peter, are you there? Go ahead and open your microphone, please.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Excellent.
Welcome.
Yeah, my name is Peter Arika, and I'm calling from Nigeria, Lagos.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm an MD of a security company. I have, so a friend of mine told me about that today, and he gave me this link, and I'm so excited to be here. Now, I have a lot of friends, over 2,000 friends, good ones. Now, I want to find out, can I, how do I link them? How do I get my link? If I have to introduce them, how will they know that I am the one that introduced them to this business? Is there any link that will be given to me so that they will, because you said, if I have to introduce, for example, Peter, Kenneth, Joseph, how will they know they are all from me? That's one. Then the second one, I have children, my kids, and I want to open for my daughter, my son, and everybody. So, and they are still young. they don't have ATM card. I have account for them. So how do I register them if I want to register them?
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Peter. Appreciate your questions. You have two questions. Mr. Charles, Marina, who wants to take the question?
I don't mind. So, Mr. Peter, as soon as you make your payment, you can leave your mic open because obviously you might need to say something after I speak. As soon as you make your payment, right, you will have your own link. So someone sends you the link, the person that invited you here, they're gonna send you their link. You become a founder, right? It takes about 5 minutes or less. The moment you make your payment and you sign that NDA that I talked about, you have access to your own back office. You have your own link right there. You can now use that link and send it to your 2,000 friends if you want, right? But what I always advise people is, first of all, bring them to the guest webinar, invite them to the webinar, promote them so that they can understand just like you. And then when they say, oh, Peter, that sounds good, you send them your link because you now have a link. Also, you can sign your children, okay, no matter the age, even your unborn children, you can pay for them. Because once you sign the NDA, you're gonna realize we have two boxes that you check. The first box says, I, Peter, have read and I understand what the conditions are, what the terms are. The second one says, I am the manager or the owner of this account. So you can be the manager of your children's accounts because they're underage or even some elderly person or anybody, okay? So you can have as many accounts as you would like to. The only thing is each account has to have a unique email because OnPassive uses the email as a unique identifier, as a primary key, okay? That's it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. I'm fine with that.
You're welcome.
Thanks. I just want to add to that, Peter. Welcome, and I can see you're very excited. I'm glad that you got the message and you can't wait to sign up. You mentioned that you've got charities that you head. Am I correct? Did I hear correctly?
No, I said I have a company. I'm a security director of a security company. So I have.
Sorry, I heard charity. Okay, sorry, no problem.
No, no charity. No,
thanks.
No charity.
Thank you so much, Mr. Peter. Thank you, Mr. Charles. Thank you, Ms. Marina. I don't see any hands raised here. Does it mean everyone got the information today and we don't need to worry about questions and answers? Guys, this is your time to ask a question.
Has a question, DINFA. They have a question. I'm not sure if you can just find them and unmute them. They probably can't find the hand.
What's the person's name?
DINFA.
I didn't get the first letter.
D for Derek.
Okay, DI, you said, right?
IN for Nelly, F for Freddie, A.
DIN. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Okay. Okay, Dinan. Is that Dinan?
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Oh, hi. How you doing?
Yeah, can you hear me? Good evening.
Yes.
Can you hear you?
We can hear you and we can see you. Go ahead.
Go ahead, sir. I think it might be a connection problem.
Jennifer, you can put your video off.
This this an opener.
Put your video off because your network is not the greatest. Put your video off. We have seen you. We can hear you now. Okay.
Mr. Dinfa, turn off your video so that your audio can be better. I don't think you can hear us. Okay, now you can go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My question is, I'm not able to refer anyone using my referral link. Like, am I still going to earn something from this company?
What do you mean by you're not able to refer anyone?
Let me. I think I understand what he's saying. Okay, Mr. Dinfer, everybody is gonna make money whether you refer somebody or not. Okay, so 0%, okay. 10 referrals, 0 referrals. Everybody is gonna make sufficient money. Are you a founder yet, Dinfer?
Oh, no, I'm not. I'm not a founder yet. I just got this. Someone actually sent me the link to this meeting.
Okay, so once you become a founder, it's up to you to be, like the name says, OnPassive, right? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Dinfer?
It really gets you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, like the name of the company says, on passive, people can decide to be passive. That means you don't have to refer anybody and you will still make sufficient money. Okay, if you come with this company and you don't refer anybody, at the end of 1 year, at the end of 12 months, you should be able to make at least $6,000 every month. That's without talking to anybody. Okay, so yes, you don't have to refer, but if you want to make more money, first and foremost, if you want to help others because someone has helped you, you can tell your friends and family, but that will also give you more money. But if you don't tell them, you will still make enough money. Okay.
Mr.
I hope you got that,
Okay,
Dinfa.
okay, I understand.
All right.
Thank you so much, Mr. Dinfa.
Yes, I understand.
Okay. All right. I'm going to be taking over. Did I see a hand raised at Mega Projects? I think.
Thank you.
Mega Projects. You can go ahead, please.
Hello, good evening to everyone. Good evening, Mr. Charles. Good evening, Sister Senge. Let me call you sister because that name is very familiar. My name is Awana Edmond Elime. I'm a nurse practicing here in Qatar. Actually, I just came back from work and my brother, my housemate, invited me to be part of this today. This is my first time on this platform. And let me go straight to my question because I know a lot of people might have some questions to ask. Okay, let's say I get registered and I don't bring in any person. I know the business is still very young and we are trying to look at how the future will look like. How much can somebody who registers and does not bring in any person be earning per month? Secondly, how do we do the payments? For example, if I'm bringing in people and for example, I bring in 100 people and another person brings in 200 people, how is the payment going to look like? I don't know whether my question is very clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Awane. Your first question was just answered a few seconds ago, but Ms. Charles, you can go ahead.
I'll let Marina take that, please.
Yeah.
Marina
Thank you very
can
much,
handle
and
that.
thank you for your service as a nurse. You know, you're putting your life at risk every day, and we do appreciate what you're doing. I'm going to post a link here in the chat box. It's about how much money you can make by Michael Williams. He is a mathematician, and he's a leader in the company. He explains it's a 17-minute video with you bringing in 0 people and what you're going to be looking at earning and then going forward, you know, into the future. Within the next 2 years, you will definitely be a millionaire. So if you're going to do nothing and you're going to be passive, you're looking at earning $6,000 to $8,000 after a year. But obviously you'll start off slowly. The system has to kick in and start working out the marketing campaigns to get customers under us. And then you'll be earning a few hundred, then a few thousand, and by a year. So say we launch, for example, on the 1st of February, that's just an example. By the end of January next year, you will be earning about $8,000 a month. And what you've done is gone on holiday for a year and you never spoke to anybody about it. Okay, you've just paid your 1-month subscription to activate your account. But if you're actually going to do a bit of work and you're going to bring in, say, a few people and they bring a few and you've got about a team of 100, if you've got a team of 100 people, you'll be earning $350,000 a month. So these are not figures to be laughing at. These are real, legit. It's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not written in stone. It's just very conservative figures working on, it's projections. It's not like, we don't have a pay plan that we can show you this is how much you're going to earn at this point. It is proprietary. So if you've seen anything out there, it's 10 times better than what you've seen before. And it's on passive. You don't have to do anything. But a lot of us want to build a team to share this opportunity with people and help, because the more people you introduce this business to, the more chance they're going to do the same thing. And the bigger your team, the more people out there to help the communities that we live in and to help our families as well, our family and friends, to get out of poverty. So I hope that answers your question. Please watch that video. And yeah, your brother, I'm not sure if he's seen it, but you're going to thank him for introducing you to this business. And get registered as soon as possible, because it also goes according to the date that you register. You want to get in as soon as possible. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Marina. He had a second part to the question, which is how are they going to be paying?
Yeah.
You want to take that, Marina?
Yeah, sure. The how you're going to get paid, we're all going to have wallets. The one wallet, this is now when we launch, the one wallet will be our funding wallet, where it keeps your money aside to pay your commission. And your second wallet is called the O wallet, where we're going to get paid our commissions in real time after our subscription is put aside for the next month. So you never ever have to worry to go into pocket again for your subscription. You only pay that one time. And how you get paid, it's up to you. You can put in your back office in your O wallet. You can put different accounts. You can put a Bitcoin, a Ethereum, a Litecoin. You can put a credit card. You can put a savings account. You can put your children's education account in there. You can even pay invoices from your back office, and you can pay people like other founders with, you can just transfer from O wallet to O wallet. So there's many ways that you can get paid. And you can also pay your charity or your church. You can pay your tithes through the back office. It's going to be very easy. It's like our own World Bank that we're going to have in our back office. And there'll never be a problem of different currencies and conversion, because it will do it for us in our back office. Okay. I see you clapping hands. So you're happy to hear that. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you so much, Marina.
Well.
Thank you so much, Marina. Mr. Iwane, I
So,
hope you are
mega projects,
satisfied.
mega projects. Are you guys satisfied? Is there any other question that you have?
Yeah, we're very satisfied with those answers that have been given us. We are very happy, really.
All right, because that's our goal.
So
We want to
much.
make sure your questions are answered to your
Definitely.
satisfaction. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Marina, for that. Any other question?
I don't see any other question.
Oh, by the way, we have our corporate webinar in about 37 minutes from now. Okay, and that corporate webinar is for guests. Okay, it's a company on Passive is trying to help us build our team. This is a private webinar. It's a guest webinar, but it is privately arranged by us at OnPassive Global for mostly our African brothers and sisters, even though it's open to everybody. Okay, the corporate webinar is now for everybody. So if you want to listen to another perspective, somebody else presenting, because the more perspectives you hear, like you guys, Mega Pride, you can join that webinar and listen from somebody else. And then you're also going to find out that on Passive, we have a plural society. We're very diverse, right? And because of that, there's a lot of love around the air. So you might want to just listen to that if you have time. I just put a link on the chat board. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Charles. I just realized I was talking to myself. I got someone muted me somehow. Thank you, Mr. Iwane. Thank you, Miss Marina, as always. I see that Thierry has his hand raised. Go ahead, Thierry.
Before Thierry, there was someone that asked earlier. They said they had a question. It was Darlington. I'm not sure if they're still on here. Darlington said, I have a question to ask earlier on.
Okay, thank you, Marina. Thierry, you can go ahead while we're waiting for Darlington.
Yeah, good evening, everyone, or good afternoon for those who are on the other side. Somebody, one of my guests asked me a question this morning I was not able to answer about the links on the, if I go to my back office, I have onpassive.com links and webinar links, presentation links, and then I have the first, the second, the third, the fourth. So what runs on all these links that we have in our back office?
Mr. Charles, Marina?
Okay. The best one to send out, I would say, because if you've sent a guest to your webinar or you've sent them to a recording of one of our webinars, they've got an understanding of the business already, then you just go all the way and rather send them your registration link. So you scroll all the way down to the bottom of any one of those that you click on. You go straight to the bottom and it's your registration link, and it's easy for them because all they have to do is just fill in the information, name, surname, country and phone number and their email address, and then they can register. It doesn't go via, and there's not lots of clicks and videos and things to watch. But if you're wanting to send them a bit of a presentation, then I use the invitation links. You can send that. That's got a bit of CEO talking originally, you know, about the plan that he had. So there's 2 videos of his and then an older presentation from our late Scott Nelson. It's a little bit outdated because you're still talking about the old pay plan, but it gives you an idea of what the business is if you're wanting to send more information. I use link number 23. It's just because it talks about AI and I enjoy that. But it's entirely up to you. What I suggest is go through, copy, paste all the links and see which one works for you, because they all speak to a different audience, you know. It's the same message, but the hook line is different. So
and just keep in mind, Thierry, all those different links that you see there, like Marina says, they carry the same message, but none of them is a full-blown presentation like what we do here. Okay. At the end of the day, after the message, it will say, put your email and phone number and things like that so that you can get registered, right? And some of them are 2 or 3 or even 4-step processes, depending on whether you're using invitation link or invite link, you know, or webinar link. So in order not to get your guests confused, you want to make sure they get a full-blown presentation. It doesn't matter whether it's a corporate webinar or one of my webinars or one of reference webinar, any of those webinars, let them understand the business, right? Yeah. And then, like Marina says, go scroll all the way down to registration link. That's the simplest way to sign up. It's a 1-step process at that point. But when you go to those other ones, it's more than 1-step process. And people who are not internet savvy may just get frustrated and you just get tired of it or whatever. So yeah, exactly. That's the risk. Okay. Yeah.
And I was seeing something. Where is my back office? It's here. How we can see, well, I have at the end of the page my registration link. How we can see what is, for example, in the link number 1, in the link number 2, are we able it and we are able to see what is in this link or not?
That's what I said you must do, Thierry, is to copy and paste it, because when you click on it, it says copy link. Okay. Yeah. Once it's highlighted blue, you can post it into your documents or your notes, but post it into a new tab on your laptop or computer, and it will open up exactly what your prospect will see. Okay. So that's why I said go through them. That's what I did. I went through every single one to see which one suited me. And that way you get to understand. So when people ask you, you know what you're talking about, you know, that you can say, I like this one. Because most of my team, because I used invitation link 23, they asked me which one, because that's the one that got them hooked, you know. So they're wanting to send it out to theirs. And but everyone's different. Everyone uses a different link for their own personal preference. That's why I suggest everyone makes themselves familiar with the links, and then you just make a note of which ones you liked, and then you can mix it up a little.
Exactly.
Okay. And I just again, these are the kind of questions we need at the founders only webinar, because it benefits not only you but other founders, right? But for a guest, it could be overwhelming. That is why we keep saying we want to take guest questions at the guest webinar and founders questions at the founders webinar. Imagine a guest just coming out there thinking, what are these links? What are these 41? What are they talking about? You see what I'm saying? So yeah. That's why we reserve those kind of questions for founders only meeting. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, Thierry, we'll have another founders meeting on Sunday and another one on Monday. So if you still go through and you have questions, please, by all means, bring them back. Thank you.
Now, see, Darlington is no longer with us. I checked, so
Yeah.
they've obviously dropped off.
Yeah. Definitely love.
Quiet one
Okay.
tonight.
I don't see any other hands raised. Is that me? Yeah.
Somebody,
Okay.
Zachary is raising his hand physically.
Zachary, where are you?
I got him. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Zachary.
Zachary Fang.
Zachariah, okay?
Are you hearing me?
Loud
Yes.
and clear, we can hear you.
Okay. I have grandchildren that I want to register, and I will be using, for those who are very young, I will use their mother's email. Now, when I have used the mother's email and eventually the mother wants to register too, which email will she use? Can she use the same email?
Emails are easy to create. I'll advise you not to use the mother's email to register those grandchildren. Create an email for each of them, okay? With a simple password that when they get of age and you're ready to hand the accounts to them, you can say, hey, Joe, when you were 5-year-old, I created an account for you. Here's your email address, joeblow@gmail.com. Here's a password. Take it over, hand over it to them. Don't use your mother's email. That way, when the mother is ready, the mother can use her own email to register.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
And then also, Zachary, right? Remember to put it into your will as well, because it is transferable. So you just need to put your the email address and the password to say that this is transferable, and when this child is of age, this account goes to whoever. So we must always remember to please put it into our will, so that because it goes on for generations to come.
Thank you so much, Marina. Thank you, Mr. Charles. Mr. Fang, hopefully you are satisfied with your answer. That's it.
All right, so let's get ready for our corporate webinar then.
Yeah, coming up in about 28 minutes. And yeah, so you guys, Marina, you have any closing remarks, Mr. Charles, closing remarks before I round it up?
I'm done.
Thank you once again for those of you who did stay, and the new founders, Daniela King. I know she was very quiet, even though it was her first time here. So she didn't have any questions. And what was it, the Mega Brothers? I can't remember, Mega Projects or something. I wish you guys all the best, and just get plugged in, get signed up as soon as possible, and start sharing this fantastic opportunity so that you can start changing your family tree, your friends' family trees, and then your communities. Thank you. We will see you on the corporate webinar. Oh, there's Daniela.
Mr. Charles, you have a question? I mean, sorry, you have a comment.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Go ahead and wrap it up. I'm good.
That was a good one, wasn't it?
No questions, Charles.
I have a question for you, Senge.
Yes, go ahead.
When is our next guest webinar?
Our next guest webinar. English for the French language.
A private guest webinar. All right. Yeah, go ahead. Tell them.
Okay, private.
We have a French webinar tomorrow.
The French webinar is tomorrow, guys. Wednesday, Mr. Charles, stop making me smile so much. The French webinar is tomorrow, guys, 2 p.m. Eastern, same time like we had this one. On Thursday, we have another English webinar for guests. Please come by. So it's a pleasure.
Thank you, Sanga.
Mr. Paul.
God bless you.
Oh,
Paul, do you have something coming up?
I thought you had something to add.
No one, you want to announce?
Yes, sir. We are warming up. We are already warming up for Benin City, and it's going to be great on the 30th of that is next week, Saturday. Awesome. So we are making a very huge arrangement. So I believe all the leaders should try as much as possible to get their contact in Benin, Edo State capital.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Pastor Paul. Guys, we always urge leaders, if you have webinars in your local area, let us know so that we can announce them on these webinars, because there are people that cannot come to this one. They might be able to go to those ones. Okay, they can do both, right? So thank you again. Okay, guys, we are going to be rounding up now. Thank you all for coming. If you were a guest on this webinar, I want to thank you for coming by, stopping by to see us. This train, like I always say, it's not going to wait. It's going to be, when it start moving, it's not going to stop. So it's up to you to make that informed decision. I also want to thank our leader, Marina Favid, for being here, Her Majesty, and of course, Mr. Charles, our leader here at Compass Global. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good day.
Thank you. Goodbye.